All right, let's jump right in. What if the path to enlightenment wasn't some kind of mystical, far-off journey, but a total system upgrade for your life? We're diving into a really cool analysis of a Buddhist text today that frames all this ancient wisdom in a way that makes a ton of sense, as your own personal operating system.
So, let's start with this one big idea. What if everything that makes you, well, you, your thoughts, your habits, the way you react to things, what if all of that was just an operating system? An OS that you could actually debug, optimize, and yeah, even completely rewrite from the ground up. Let's get into it.
So what does that even mean, right? To see your life as an operating system? Well, according to this analysis, the path of a bodhisattva, it's not about just memorizing some new rules or following a new checklist. No, it's about something way deeper. It's a fundamental system overhaul, a complete redesign of your entire inner world.
And this is the key insight, this massive shift in perspective. Think about it like this. You're not just downloading a few new apps on your phone, like a new meditation habit or a mantra you repeat. Nope. You are literally getting into the terminal and rewriting the core code. That's the huge difference between just being a user of your life and becoming the lead architect of your own reality.
Okay, so what system are most of us running right out of the box? The analysis has a great term for this. It's our default program. That pre-installed set of instructions that just runs on autopilot.
The specific term for this is habit inertia. And really, just think about it for a second. How many of your daily reactions, your thoughts, just happen? You don't even choose them. That's it. That's your base level OS running on automatic with zero conscious input from you. It's like that old clunky legacy code that's been running in the background for years.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. This is the core difference in action. On one side, you have the ordinary person, the default user, right? They're totally controlled by their habits, just running on autopilot. But then you have the upgraded user, the bodhisattva. They don't just have habits, they actively design their habits. They become the lead programmer for their own life. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually make that leap? Well, you do it by installing a brand new system, the Awakening OS. And let me be clear, this isn't just some little software patch or a minor update. We are talking about a complete rewrite of your foundational code.
The whole upgrade process really breaks down into three main steps. First up is rewrite. You literally replace that automatic habit inertia with a new intentional awakening inertia. Next, you target. This means you actively bind your entire system, all your energy, to a higher purpose. And finally, you execute. You just run this new program constantly, all the time, like a powerful multi-threaded process humming along in the background.
And this brings us to a really fascinating, kind of counterintuitive idea about freedom. See, in this system, true freedom isn't about just doing whatever you want, aimlessly wandering around. It actually comes from committing first, with total, unwavering focus. It's only from that place of complete mastery that you can then completely let go.
Ultimately, what this whole upgrade is really about is empowerment. It's about making that incredible shift from being a passive user, just, reacting to whatever your system happens to throw at you, to becoming the lead architect, the one who is actively and intentionally designing their own experience.
Now, of course, like any complex piece of software, this new OS has its own set of rules. There are system requirements for it to run smoothly, and there are definitely some critical error warnings to prevent a total system crash. So let's go ahead and open up the user manual.
So for a stable installation, the text lays out these key conditions. Think of it like a pre-flight check. You need good teachers. Call them your lead developers. You absolutely have to have faith in the system's logic. You can't mess with or badmouth the source code. You have to understand the environment your OS is running in. And really importantly, you dedicate all the positive outputs to the whole network for the benefit of everyone.
And then, on the flip side, you've got the big red flags, the critical error warnings. Things like disrespecting or ignoring your teachers, getting burnt down on the path, becoming arrogant or self-righteous, or getting jealous of other people's progress. Any of these can trigger a total system failure. And what's really interesting is that according to this text, the biggest risk isn't just not knowing enough, it's actively deviating from the core programming.
But when the system is stable, wow, it enters this really advanced operating mode. And this quote just captures it perfectly. It means you can be completely involved in the world, in your job, in your relationships, all of it, without being tainted or controlled by it. It's this beautiful idea of finding freedom in the world, not having to escape from the world.
Okay, so let's get super practical. This is all great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you run the upgrade? Well, let's look at the 5 executable instructions, straight from the implementation guide.
All right, here we go. First, you've got to consciously reconstruct your habit system. You have to train awareness to become your new default reaction. Second, you have to actively bind yourself to high-value goals. No more just drifting along. Third, it's all about consistency. Stability is way more important than these short, intense bursts of effort that fizzle out. Fourth, and this is huge, you have to treat your everyday life as the training ground. Your work, your family, your relationships, that's the server where you run the code. And finally, you have to constantly reinforce the core belief, I can and will complete this awakening path. Think of it as the ultimate self-affirming command line you run every single day.
So we're going to end with the ultimate diagnostic question for you to ask yourself. Really, take a look at your own life, your own system. Are you being driven by your habits, that pre-installed code you never chose? Or are you the one designing the system? Because according to this ancient wisdom reframed for today, that choice is always, always yours to make.